You're listening to Shift, Human First Financial Guidance with Ross Marino.
Today, we are shifting the conversation with Lindsay Troxall. Hello, Lindsay.
Hey, Ross, how are you?
I am good. It is so good to have you on the show. I can't wait to talk about coaching and how that's impacting financial planning and financial services. Before we dive in, please take a minute and introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hi, everybody. Lindsay Troxall. I've been in the financial services field for, a little over 20 years now. I started as an advisor, so I've sat in your seats. And what was so cool about my journey is that I realized very quickly that I was always meant to be a coach and consultant. So I've spent the last 20 years inside of firms, helping them to revolutionize their process and think about how they're working with their clients more effectively and with their teams more effectively. And most recently, I started my own firm, Our Coaching Initiative. And we are a fractional life coaching platform that advisors can tap into to leverage for their clients. And so we're doing things like life coaching, career coaching, business coaching, and retirement coaching for end clients.
Our goal with Shift is to fuel the movement of human first financial guidance. And whenever you mention human first, it's obviously personal. I keep hearing coaching more and more. I don't think I heard it as much 5 years ago. It may be because I wasn't listening, but now it seems like you're just hearing coaching over and over. And it's not just in a little corner of the industry. It seems like it's working its way into all financial planning services out there. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think people are starting to recognize the fact that our feelings drive our results. And so when you think about all of the decisions that you can be making and all the levers that you can pull, especially from the financial side of the fence, right? We have to dive into what people are thinking and feeling, and therefore the actions that they're taking and the results that they're creating. And so that's what coaching is it really helps us to start unpacking what individuals are thinking on a daily basis and how those thoughts drive them forward, or in some instances, keep them stuck. And so when I'm working with an advisor who's got a client who, for example, I just had a conversation with someone the other day about an individual that's about to retire, and they're getting ready to retire. They're perfectly fine financially. They're capable of retiring, but they have no idea what to do next. And so part of that is coming from this place of, I've been doing the same thing for the last 40 years. Now I need to switch my mindset and come up with this whole new set of things that are going to fill my day and keep me healthy and keep me engaged mentally. And I don't really know how to do that. So we dig into the thoughts and the feelings that are keeping that individual either not creating a plan or hesitant to create a plan. And we help them go through that process. So it's kind of a blend of life planning and coaching, but it's a beautiful mixture to be able to offer your clients access to somebody who will help them to hold space, right? Financial planners traditionally have been experts. You come, you have your set of knowledge. You're the reason that somebody is coming to you to make sure that the numbers are all sound and you've got a concrete plan that's going to get them where they want to go. With coaching, the individual is really the expert on themselves. And so what I do is I sit there and I hold space for them as they come up with their own ideas and unpack what they want to do for themselves going forward.
I'm certainly a fan of the whole model of think, feel, and do. I have my coffee cup. I have a couple coffee cups just to make sure in case one's dirty, I'm still ready to go. So I know that's such a process out there. You mentioned mindset. It is most definitely a shift that we have to do. Some financial planners, and I think many of our clients, have this mindset that if I get the numbers right, as long as I know it looks like I have enough money, I can figure the rest out and it'll be okay. But it's not quite that easy, is it?
Not quite that simple. I was talking to somebody just the other day. She is currently retired And we were trying to design what she wanted her future self to look like, and then unpack all of the habits that would help her create that future self for her. And she had this entire list, like 20 different things that she wanted to be doing: playing the guitar, doing some organization for friends. She had this entire list, right? And she wasn't getting started on any of her projects. And I asked her the question, I was like, do you even want to do any of these things? You've been saying that you want to do them, and they've been on your list for a while, but you haven't gotten started. Do you even want to do them? And she was like, nobody's ever asked me that question before. And nobody's ever given me the space for me to actually think about whether or not I want to do them. And so what she came up with, she was like, I've been living this identity for so long that somebody else has imparted on me, right? Outside forces have told me that I'm supposed to go to work and I'm supposed to get a paycheck and I'm supposed to raise my kids in a certain way. And these are the things I'm supposed to be doing. That now that I have all of this space and all of this time, I wasn't even questioning whether or not the things that I had on my list were things that I wanted to be doing, right? And so it's not just that easy of the numbers are good, you're ready to go, you'll figure the rest out. It's being able to have somebody by your side, sitting there with you without judgment and without any objective other than let's explore where you want to go and what you want to create for yourself, and then question whether or not some of those longstanding beliefs are true and if they're helpful. So yeah, it's a really interesting process.
The idea behind human first financial guidance is if we connect with the people we're trying to help, really from a coaching standpoint, that curiosity to understand what matters to them, what they really want to do, then we'll be able to offer financial guidance. I differentiate that from financial advice, because that's often, here's what you do, here's how you do it.
Yeah.
But financial guidance is, here's how you can make decisions that will support what really matters to you. But in order for me to get there, I just have to have a heavy dose of curiosity, right?
Yeah, I think that we tend to go into conversations. We're just kind of programmed, right? As humans, we're going in, we're trying to solve problems. We want to create value, and we want to prove that we're going to be able to help you. And so oftentimes we'll go in with preconceived notions, and we're driving to a certain point. That curiosity makes you step back a little bit further and say, tell me about who you are. Where do you want to go? What are some of the dreams that you have? What would you create for yourself if there were, no limitations whatsoever? And just being able to get super curious and not think that you know the direction that you're going in, right? That's the most important thing, is let the client guide you. Don't guide them. And that can be very, very challenging when you are trying to prove your value continuously.
I recently read an article that said AI is revolutionizing coaching, and it made me smile, because I thought the article didn't say it's improving or enhancing or assisting coaching. It's revolutionizing. Was it clickbait? Is it overly dramatic? Or, I know you're well versed on this, is AI really revolutionizing personal coaching?
I think that there is a little bit of clickbait in there. I think that there's always clickbait in there. If they're doing their job, it's clickbait. But the way that I think about AI, because this is such an important conversation to be having, right? I think that AI is driving curiosity. Because if you are trying to leverage AI in your business and you're going in and you're creating prompts, right? Some people will create prompts and get back junk. And so they're not actually getting information that they're finding helpful. They're finding very poorly written, let's say, articles. You might not necessarily get real information, right? There's that hallucination component of AI where it sometimes will hallucinate and provide you with junk. But what that does is it gives you this opportunity to become more curious and say, I just prompted AI in this particular way and I got this particular result. I wonder if I were to change the way that I'm asking the question or guiding the tool, will I get back better information? And so that's the first thing that it just makes you do. It makes you become more curious as a human and kind of get out of that slump where maybe we've gotten a little bit lazy and we're just going to Google and we're typing in, a question and it returns stuff back. This really makes you start to think. So when anybody says to me, I'm afraid that AI is going to take over and we're no longer going to have jobs, that's just not true. Like, this is probably one of the most human first tools ever, right? It allows us to become more human-centric, to give our teams more freedom and more control and more efficiency and efficacy. Like, there's so many applications that we can be using AI for. In terms of coaching, this also allows you as the advisor to think about how you're coaching yourself, how you're coaching your team, and also how you're coaching your clients. So what's really interesting here is that, if you want to become a better leader, you can go into something like ChatGPT and you can provide ChatGPT with a scenario that you're experiencing. Maybe you've got a conflict between team members and you don't know how to navigate that situation. You can tell ChatGPT exactly what's happening and then ask it to provide you with the next 3 things that you need to do in order to improve your leadership skills. So now you've essentially got a coach in your pocket. That's what this does, right? It gives us all access to coaching where we haven't necessarily been able to do that in real time. When I think about working with my clients, one of the things that has always been challenging, let's say over the last 15 years, has been we might sit down, Ross, and have a conversation, go through a coaching exercise. It could be on the practice management side of the fence inside of your firm, or I could be working with one of your clients. And when we would get out of that session, now it's time for you to take action. Right. And you're going to be inside of your business operating as you do, and you're going to hit a roadblock. And then what? Right. You either need to remember everything that we talked about, or what typically would happen is that people would wait until the next time that we were having a conversation and they would be like, gosh, Lindsay, all that we talked about, it was really, really helpful. But then as I was executing, I got stuck. And now what you have is like a little Lindsay in your pocket. So you can go to AI and you can tell them the exact scenario. You can say, I was trying to implement this new marketing process inside of my business. And as I was implementing that marketing process, my brain gave me these thoughts like, this is never going to work. And when I think something like this is never going to work, that makes me feel discouraged. And when I feel discouraged, I stop taking action. And then the result that I get is that I don't make any forward movement, right? And so as you're going through this process, you can leverage AI to help you get unstuck. And so that's the way that I really think that this is revolutionizing the work that we're doing. It just creates more opportunity for humans to get what they need in the moment to move themselves powerfully forward.
Clickbait or not, I agree. It is definitely revolutionizing. I recently saw a demo of a marketing tool that was integrating AI, and just watching the clicks and them typing in words and seeing how fast it came together is mind-blowing, because it's stuff that would have taken me a long time to put together, assuming I would have even thought of it, which I wouldn't. So fast. So to learn how to leverage that, it's going to be pretty amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing you speak at Shift. Thanks for being on the show today. And Lindsay, we will talk again.
Thanks, Ross.
Thank you for listening to Shift with Ross Marino. Please visit humanfirst.live to learn more. This show is for general information purposes only and is not intended to provide recommendations or advice. Speak with a legal, tax, or financial advisor before making any decisions. Past performance references are historical and do not guarantee future results.